room. This means nobody else can then get in. This makes it a little bit safer. People always worry about the safety aspects of it, but it's quite, as long as everything's locked, you're okay. So, as you see, I'm not in yoga gear today. It's most breathing exercises you don't need to have any special clothes on. The only thing is that you want to make sure that it's not too tight around your bra area, and the same thing around your trousers, that they're not tight. If they are, you just undo everything. Let everything a little bit looser. The only thing I will do is I'll get you sitting up straight so that you're turning your shoulders back and down. You don't want to slump down in the chair or the settee. We're going to do today, it's called Adi Mudra, and it is works the upper part of the lungs. You're going to bring your thumbs, place them on the inside, and then bring the fingers around, and you can place them down, face up, or face down on your lap, wherever you want to just place them. So it's up to you, however you feel you want to do it. Now, so that's the hand gesture, and like I said, we're breathing just into the upper part. So this is a very small breath, and it's kind of just very small. But we're going to try and pull in our stomach muscles, and we're also going to try and pull in our chest muscles, so that we're not breathing into any of these, we're just breathing here. Now, I was doing it quite quick, but you can do it slowly. Now, it's not easy to do, so what we'll do is we'll do it in rounds of 10. We'll do 10 breaths and then take a big breath in and relax it down. Again, if you've got blood pressure problems, again, just judge. You might want to just start with 5 and then take a big breath in. And after every 10 breaths, just evaluate how you feel. So if you feel a bit dizzy or a bit sick, then don't do any more. Keep filling the lungs. Now, I always get you to do something else with when you're doing the breathing. So we're going to take these. These are muscles that we very rarely use. They're there. They're just a bit lower down. Down. And there are pelvic floor muscles. Now, when I'm normally telling people to pull their pelvic floor in, I tell them to think about this and then pull in at the back, at the front, and then the belly. And I get them to pull the belly back really tight. Now, this is more your abdominal, but what it does is it pulls underneath. There are, I have to describe this, it's just the way I have to describe it. There are 2 muscles that when I tell you to pull in at the front, you'll feel a little muscle pull, and it kind of does this movement underneath, and it pulls it in that direction. But when we do it, we don't want to squeeze our bum. We just want to work the muscle that's down there. So, like I said, it's just a little tiny muscle, and it goes like that. And you may not even feel it, see it moving. There's no movement in any part of me that you can see. But just up inside that, there is another muscle just that sits on top, and it does this movement. So I'll do it that way for the other people. It does that movement, and it's just inside. And if you put your hand sort of this area here, so it's not that pulling as you squeeze the stomach in, it's not that big pulling, it's just a tiny little movement that you may feel down there. So you're not pulling in your belly, you're not squeezing your bum, but at the bottom you're doing one muscle that goes in this direction on the outside, just a little bit up, there's another one that goes this way, and then there's that tiny other little muscle that if you were to pull the belly in, it would move, but now you're not going to try and pull that in, you're just going to try and move that little area in there.
So I can't tell whether you're doing it. You will know. Now this area is, that's how it works for women. Now there is another area, and the same area works for men. But they do the second one, so not that one's the same, it's this one, the other one, again, that you pull in, that tiny little brace at the bottom is the same, but it's this one that's slightly different for men. And it makes men's things move. And that's what it does for a man, and it kind of taps it and moves it. And so for a man, they'd do the first one, they'd do the third one, which is just underneath, but then they try and lift their little thing up and down. And that helps to work that muscle, because they're all muscles. We just don't get told how to use them properly. Now with the top one for a woman, so again, not that one that squeezes at the bottom, it's the second one up that goes across, that little box. This is what increases our orgasm. And it's as if you're doing a pull down with the front of the body. So you're making the area between the ribs and the hips a little bit closer. You're moving forward. It does the same thing with our area down there. And it pulls the G-spot down so that it can be stimulated. Now with, again, muscles, with sex, it's supposed to be enjoyable for everybody. And then in the Yoga Sutras, they talk about celibacy. Celibacy can be taken in different forms. So you can talk about celibacy as in restraining from sex, not having sex at all, if that's what you want. There's also celibacy talking about making sure that when you give that part of yourself to someone, it should be out of love. It shouldn't be out of revenge or pity or spite or fear. It should be because it's because that's what you want to do. And it's all about, as long as it's right for you, then that's okay. And being able to give that love, that part of your body, to somebody that also respects and loves you, so that you're not just doing it because they want you to do it, because they saying, oh, if you loved me, you would. No, if they loved you, they should respect the fact that they have to wait. So celibacy and working these muscles, people always think, oh, it's giggly. But they are very important. They are the reason we're here. If we didn't do it, there'd be none of us. So we have to do it so that we can, our species can continue. But you need to make sure that it's on your terms, that you give that part of your body. And it should also be enjoyable. It shouldn't just be one person's, oh, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, and then you're kind of sitting there going, oh, well, thanks, cheers for that. It should be that you enjoy it as well, and learning to make sure that you use these muscles down here will heighten a female orgasm as well. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to focus our mind down there while we're focusing our breathing up here. So we're going to breathe out and we're pulling. So like I said, we're pulling in the bottom, the 1, the 2, the 3, but then we're going to pull that muscle in as we breathe out. We're pulling that in so that we're holding everything in. We're going to then try and breathe out and hold our chest in. We're bringing our fingers into Adho Mudra and bringing our hands down, bringing our shoulders down, pulling our chin back. Now, while we're doing these little breaths, we're trying to move our pelvic floor. They might not move, they may move, but I want you to try and just focus there and move them. So we're going to do 10 breaths. And then we're going to breathe in. You can let everything go and breathe out. We're going to take another 2 breaths in. We're just thinking, how do I feel? Does my head feel okay? Do I feel okay? Now this time we're going to pull everything, breathe out, pull everything in and up, pull in the pelvic floor, pull the abdominal lock in, pull the chest in, breathe out now, just breathing into this top part. And breathe in. One more. So again, we're pulling everything in, breathing out into the top. And again, breathing. Big breath, fill the lungs, breathe out, let everything relax. 2 more. Breathing in and breathing out, just relaxing them lungs, thinking about how you're feeling. So again, we're pulling in at the bottom, we're pulling in at the abdominals, we're pulling the chest, we're breathing out. We're breathing in. It should feel a bit better. The first one should have felt quite quick. Now we might be able to slow them down, but still not breathing into the chest or into the stomach. But we still want to breathe into the sides, the back. Still 3-dimensional, even though it's only a small area of the lungs. We're still thinking about what's happening down in our pelvic area. And then big breath in and out. 2 more big breaths in and out. And we've got 1 more set. So again, we're pulling down, breathing out, pulling everything up. And breath in. So we're going to lift our arms up, breathe in, stretch up, give your arms a nice stretch, and then breathe out. And again, big breath in, and breathe out. And our last one. And breathe out. So with those, take them home, take them through the day and have a little go with them. Enjoy having a play around. Like I said, sit down and feel everything out and see how it moves. Thinking also about where you're breathing. And some people do find the breathing okay, that moving the hands helps to focus. So for the bottom, for the lower part, it's Chin Mudra, which is lower part, Chinmaya Mudra, which is the middle part, and Adi Mudra, which is the top part. So trying to use them in different areas and see if it helps you to focus on them areas. And then also thinking about, think the body working somewhere else. hopefully that stops the mind from thinking about all the rubbish that goes on through the house. So I'm going to say goodbye and end that one.